What radio station would you have if you had a radio station?
What do you mean? A hip hop station?
Yeah, it's just hip hop, like old school idea stuff, or what would you play on it?
Oh, shoot, I still have to show you that idea song. That's
You
right.
do?
I would make it like a weird. I would make it, if I could have anything licensing wasn't a problem, it would be a mixture of underground hip hop and video game music.
Okay. All right.
What would the station be called? You need something catchy that people can remember.
Underground games.
Consumed by Darkness.
That's too long.
COD 108.
COD 108?
Yeah.
CBD.
I'm retarded.
What would your intro be? Do your intro for CBD. Well, I don't know.
Starts with this.
Every time you're on, starts with that. And then what would you say to introduce the show each time?
Just cracked a Coca-Cola, not drinking at work.
Oh man.
And what would your hours be like for the station? Like 7
where
to 9?
I'm personally on, like as a radio host?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or, oh man.
You personally, you're the founding member. You can pick your hours for
well,
it.
in theory, I want to retire as soon as possible, so I probably wouldn't even be on for 5 minutes a day.
Not even 5 minutes.
I would like to record like, hello, welcome to the station. That'd actually be my intro. I wouldn't do anything extra. Just, hello, welcome to the station. You're listening to cool stuff. And then just, that's it. I'll play that once a day at 8 a.m.
You're listening to CBD. Prepare to be consumed by darkness.
It's like, then it's just the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Like,
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
I'd say the optimal radio show host time slot is like late morning to noon.
well, you know, they pre-record all that stuff.
No, they
They're-
don't.
No, a lot of it's live.
I was going to say a lot of radio stuff
Oh,
is live.
to my understanding, a lot of it isn't.
Well,
It's probably an even mixture.
it depends on what it is you're talking about. If it's like, oh, you're
yeah.
listening to whatever radio station, yeah, it's probably recorded. But if it's like, hey, we're talking on this 10 minutes ago,
Yeah.
no, it's
But
still
like
live.
any, like their weather or traffic reports, yeah, all that would be live.
Uh-huh.
But then like any like, oh, we have a call or whatever, all that stuff's pre-recorded with
Oh, yeah.
actors.
And usually as well, when you call into a radio station, you're calling to like the front desk, and they fill in the gaps what the front desk said.
Yeah. Like all
on
those
radio.
contests, none of them are actually live, to my understanding.
Okay, well, there's certain radio stations that I've texted into. They say, text us at this number, and I'll send in a message, and then like 5 minutes later, they'd be like, God damn it, you couldn't have waited until I
Not
was
at
done
all.
talking.
I
5
was
minutes
getting
later, they'd
impatient.
be like, screw you, we're drinking.
No, 5 minutes later.
I waited long enough, Ben.
5 minutes later, they would have been like, oh, we have a text in from this user.
User.
I guess not user. From this
Listener.
person.
User, Ben is awesome, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That's actually just his passwords to everything for anyone listening at home.
Don't tell them that.
Gonna start hacking things.
Yeah, no, because I know with X in Calgary,
Yeah.
there's the morning slot that starts at like, I don't know, 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning.
Mhm.
And it ends at 9 or 10 a.m. And then another guy fills in until noon, and then somebody else takes over for the afternoon.
And you're confident that's not pre-recorded?
I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
You literally hang out and listen to music all day. Who would not want that job?
Well,
You
no,
know,
it's the fact that they won't pay somebody to do that because it's not worth it.
it's not a very well-paying
I was gonna
job.
say, as far as I knew, it wasn't well
Yeah.
paying at
A
all.
lot of radio show hosts have a second sort of gig going on.
Yeah.
But
Like working multiple radio stations. A proverbial gigolo of stations.
proverbial.
I can't believe you just said that.
Proverbial a gigolo.
Gigolo.
Define a gigolo.
It's a male prostitute.
There was one time I was
You were a gigolo.
no, I was
Yeah.
a kid
Wow.
and
A kid gigolo.
no. A kidalo.
Whoa.
I was swimming with
A gigolo.
when I was young, I was swimming with my dad and my uncle, and I thought it was really funny that I could go underneath the water and like wave water at their bellies and watch it jiggle, and my uncle's like, "Oh, we're gigolos." And I never really understood what it meant.
I don't think he
doesn't
meant it
mean
that
your
way.
body. It
I
doesn't
don't-
mean your body moving under the water, Ben.
Yeah, I guess. I just thought it was funny because they were fat and I can do that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the HastleCast podcast. Tonight, it's episode 40, baby.
Fuck yeah.
I'm hosting. My name is Ben. I'm joined by...
Steven.
and Alex. I'm back, bitches.
Welcome to the shit show.
Yeah.
Alex, you are back.
I'm back.
We basically gave you our final farewells.
Yeah. And then I showed up again 2 weeks later.
You want to explain what happened?
I got the dates wrong for when I start school. So I thought I started on the 5th, but turns out I don't start till the 18th. After I found out, I went to school to get my ID and bus pass and stuff sorted out. And I'm like, oh yeah, do you know when we get our schedules and whatnot and what I do on the 5th? Because I haven't heard anything. This was a couple days earlier. And the people at the reception are like, what are you talking about? You don't start for another 2 weeks. You don't start till the 18th. And I'm like, are you serious? And like, oh yeah, no, you're here really early compared to other students. I'm like, well, god damn it. Thanks for letting me know. I had no idea. So I'm back in town for a couple days now.
To clarify for people who may not be caught up, Alex moved to a different city in a different province to go to school. So
yeah, out in Victoria.
It was like you were there and you were ready to be there.
Exactly.
For a while.
Yep. I was there, ready to be there for the long haul. And then they're like, no, you don't start for another little bit. And I'd already done all my exploring and grocery getting and setting up and whatnot. So I'm like, screw it. Might as well have a couple more days back home.
Wait, you got groceries already?
Minor stuff.
Okay. So it's all just sitting in your fridge?
Nothing's in the fridge. I got rid of all that stuff.
Okay.
It's like meats and buns and stuff that won't go bad in a week kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I have to do another lovely big grocery run when I get back though, because I literally have nothing. So that'll be fun.
Than meat and buns.
Yeah. I actually don't have any buns. I had the last of my buns with my breakfast that one morning. I just got meat. That's what I'm having for dinner, I guess.
There's something to be said for meat and buns. You can get by for quite a long time on just meat and buns.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. There was ramen and mac and cheese. That's where I'm going to go to next.
Yeah? My dad told me that, so when he was high school age, his whole family moved to Calgary from Ontario. Mm-hmm. And he finished off high school here and then started to go to university. And then his parents are like, we're selling the apartment. Or no, we're not selling the apartment. We're moving back to Ontario. If you want the apartment, it's yours. But you got to cover all the rent and put yourself through university. My dad's like, all right, sounds good. So he stayed in Calgary. And he said that for most of his university time, he made and ate apple pies. And that's how he lived.
Apple pies.
He would just make apple pies.
That's fantastic. I guess pastries, fruit, and sugar in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Work. There's some people, and not that I'm judging Edmontonians at all, but there's some people that went to the U of A, and this was the most recent case of scurvy that I'd heard. This was a couple years ago. These two students had scurvy because all they ate was mac and cheese and ramen.
Are you serious?
Wouldn't go outside. They would go to class, go back to their dorms, play video games, and eat mac and cheese and ramen for 2 years straight. They literally got scurvy.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome.
On campus, they got scurvy in the 21st century. Something that had been cured for hundreds of years already. Yeah. They got scurvy.
Well, that's like with the whole anti-vaxxers, and now measles and mumps are coming back because parents don't believe in vaccines.
Yep.
And they're not getting their kids immunized, and bringing back old diseases that we'd conquered already.
Waiting for smallpox. I think that's going to make another big sweep through everything.
Black plague.
Yep.
Yeah.
Darker plague.
Oh man.
So mac and cheese, would you get Kraft Dinner mac and cheese, or would you just make your own? Buy a pound or whatever of macaroni and just...
I'd probably make my own because I actually have some slight amount of skill in the kitchen. Very little.
Because I came to this realization, this was a few years ago, because I never really liked mac and cheese. Because I thought that cheese sauce was kind of gross.
Like KD?
Yeah.
It is kind of
Yeah,
gross.
like the powdery cheese sauce, yeah.
Yeah, but our friend Rudy invited me to his place once, and he's like, yo, I'll make mac and cheese. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll have some. And then he just made macaroni and just grated cheese and just put it on top. 100 times better.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm just like, why in the world does anybody make Kraft Dinner when this is just as easy to make and 100 times better to eat?
Yep.
Just you can easily control your cheese quantity and just everything. I'm like, this is way better.
People love that cheese powder.
You can actually have fancy cheeses in there, not just whatever it is,
blue
cheddar,
cheese.
I guess, or blue cheese. I don't know.
No, blue cheese isn't common.
Is it even real cheese they put in there? Or is this weird process thing?
I think it's a process thing. I did discover, sorry to interrupt, I was at an amazing place called the Liquor Planet out in Victoria.
Oh, yes.
Liquor Planet is a giant liquor store. It's like kind of Costco-sized liquor store. full of dinosaurs and like Sasquatch and stuff. Because why not? We were in there. We discovered that you could buy a 2-liter jug of Okanagan cider, which is really good cider, for $7.
Yeah.
A 2-liter jug of cider. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. So, gonna make frequent trips there. There was Pabst Blue Ribbon mac and cheese for sale in the store as well. I'm gonna make a trip back and try one just because I've got to.
So what is it? Is it mac and cheese that's flavored like Pabst?
I think so.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Okay.
you gotta buy a Pabst and like pour it in with a Pabst or something. I don't know.
Or is it just like a sponsored mac and cheese?
I got a photo of it, and that's about it.
Okay.
And then
You should make a YouTube review.
sure. And
Do
then
an unboxing.
This came with cheese powder and macaroni.
And a
yep.
beer.
and then I got to be drinking Pabst while I'm doing it, right?
Wear a Pab shirt.
Yes, exactly. I don't think I have a Pabst shirt. I'll look one up. Shit, where the hell did that picture go?
I don't think it's typically referred to as Pabst.
PBR, right?
PBR.
Yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
I just call it Pabst.
That's an American beer, isn't it?
To my understanding, yes.
I don't know, probably.
Hmm.
What the hell? Okay, I don't know where this photo's gone. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Couldn't put it in the podcast anyway.
Ah, shit. No, we don't have a link dump or anything.
You both just looked at me like, do your job.
God damn it, bed. Yeah, no, so when we were leaving, we were talking to one of the guys, and we're like, what on earth is up with all these dinosaurs that are in the store? Like, 'cause they're everywhere. Like, there's gigantic T-Rex heads hanging off the wall. Like, there's a huge velociraptor thing in the middle of the store. Like, why not?
Yeah.
We're talking to one guy, and he's like, yeah, the owner literally just likes dinosaurs. That is the entire reason behind it.
Oh, man.
He bought a liquor store, liked dinosaurs, and just started to decorate it with dinosaurs. So, it is fantastic. I love it there.
That dude's in the wrong city. He needs to be in Drumheller.
I think they go too far.
Where everybody who lives there hates dinosaurs. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're
or
they're
has-
always around them.
Yeah. But it's like, it's in the middle of nowhere, Victoria, and there's just dinosaurs everywhere. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, man, would highly recommend going to Liquor Planet if you ever go out to Victoria.
If I ever go out to Victoria, I'd likely just visit you, and then you can take me there. So.
Mhm. Perfect.
I would likely visit you and then request not to go there.
No, we'd go there. We'd go there.
I feel like we could find something better to do.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying we spend like 3 hours there, like an entire evening. Like I'm not
Thought it
gonna
was,
take you there.
Disneyland.
No,
or
I'm not gonna
something
take you there
like-
for dinner. No,
with,
no.
like, animatronics or something, and like people dressed as dinosaurs serve you dinner.
Oh, damn, that'd be cool.
Mac and cheese.
Listen to COBD radio all night as well.
CBD.
Shut up.
Mac and PBR.
Back in PBR. That'd be perfect. It's literally just a liquor store that's got dinosaurs everywhere in it. It's great.
You know those inflatable T-Rex costumes that you
Mhm.
see a lot of videos of?
Yep.
Those are great.
There was a guy that took one of those T-Rex costumes and went on American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, really?
In that costume, it was pretty great.
That's awesome.
He did try and keep like the stubby arms for the entire thing. And then some like the big monkey swing ones, he had to outstretch them, but no, it's really funny.
My dad was telling me that there's a new American Ninja Warrior style place in Calgary that you can go to
Okay.
like do their courses or whatever.
Is it just an obstacle course, or is it like a legitimate fitness obstacle course, like American Ninja Warrior?
I think it's a legit fitness obstacle course. Like,
Okay. What's up, Steven?
I think you were telling me almost about place like they call like ninja training or something.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Well, Aaron brought up ninja training to you and me, Ben.
Oh.
If you remember, so you, me, Sarah, and Aaron were at Chinook Mall
Okay. Really?
months ago. And Aaron went on about that raw cookie dough place. It's now
I was there
Iron
too.
Range. You were there? Okay.
Yes, I
I don't
was.
remember. I don't know. It
I
was a
don't
while
know
ago.
if I've ever been at Chinook Mall with Aaron.
Yeah, no.
We were looking for dinner, and we're just like,
Yeah.
well, screw it, where should we go? We could go here. We
I
could
do
go there.
Just go to the
this.
mall.
Yeah, my
then
apologies.
Aaron went up to us and she's like, guys, there's a ninja place.
And
And that's it. And there's literally nothing else. And it's like,
we're
okay, like
what do you
where,
do there? I don't know.
Where is it? How old do you have to be? She's like, no, it's just a ninja place. You do ninja things there. It's like, well, thanks, Aaron. really,
There's
really
not a whole lot of information in that
Exactly.
statement.
Yeah, I know. So, if that is the obstacle course, that'd be cool. I'd want to test that out.
Yeah, my dad was mentioning it because he teaches phys ed at our old high school, and he was saying that one of the other teachers there took their
Sports pro.
the sports pro
It's like gym class, but like a step above gym class.
Yeah, it's more focused on like fitness science and stuff like that. But yeah, he took his class there to go do the courses and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So, sounds awesome.
I know at the trampoline flying squirrel place.
Yep.
Up near the ninja place, just on the other side of it, if it is in the right place. There is like a bit of an obstacle course. We got to like spider walk across a couple walls, go under some things, monkey bars over.
Yep.
It's really cool. It's lots of fun to do.
I remember doing that course one time, and my oldest brother Mike was there, and he's not the most physically fit guy, but he got through the course, and it came to the final step where he had to like use a rope to scale maybe a 10-foot wall.
Yeah, you got to vault over a wall. Some people, you don't really need to use the rope. It kind of helps you a bit, but you can like jump and grab yourself and pull you over.
That's usually what I do.
Yeah.
He was trying to do that. He couldn't do it, so he went to the rope, and he's like trying to get himself up. He can't do it. Him and I went at the same time, and I had already gotten through, and I went to the sort of sideline spectator area.
Yeah.
And I was just screaming at him like, "Come on, Mike, you can do it! Get your ass over that wall! I believe!" And just like, I was probably disturbing quite a few people, being incredibly noisy and obnoxious, but he did it. He did
Brilliant.
it. He mustered the strength needed.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool. Yeah. He just got his driver's license this weekend.
Haha.
At the ripe old age of 28.
I took a guess.
Better late than never.
Cool. You got it first try then? He didn't try
Yes.
before ever?
That's correct.
For ways and means or reasons before?
Yeah, probably about 5 years ago when I got my driver's license. My parents put all three of us through driver's ed at the same time.
Okay.
And they're just like, you might as well go for your test right away that you have all this knowledge immediately. And we're like, yeah, sounds good. Nick already had his license. I got mine. Mike never bothered. 5 years later, finally did it.
Nice. Driving is lots of fun.
Disagree. Very heavily disagree.
Because you don't drive standard.
Yes. Driving in Calgary in traffic is not a lot of fun.
I don't think I've ever had fun driving.
No?
My first time, never.
Okay.
It's like,
You'd love a Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With autopilot or whatever. Yeah.
I'm tempted to go down, because the store is just right here,
Mm-hmm.
to go down and do a test drive. I
Would
saw a
they-
guy test driving it one on McLeod. Like, you could see because the license plate was ZAPT. So
Zapped.
it's just like, yeah, a custom plate for their store or whatever. And the guy was going down and had his hands on either side of the wheel, like at about 9 and 3, and just like not touching the wheel. And there was a sales associate next to him. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I can't wait for auto-driving cars. I'm not huge on like luxury items. A self-driving car, to be fair, it would be a very, very expensive luxury item. But once it became a bit cheaper, yeah, I think I would be willing to.
well, Tesla offers
Take a dive.
a model that's $30,000.
I refuse to believe that can be completely self-driving though.
That's a good.
I
Point.
don't think there's any mass-produced models on the market right now, or I don't know if they're selling any right now. They're completely self-driving. I know they're doing tests. I know Uber's doing some tests, I think, in San Francisco for self-driving cars instead of having Uber drivers. And then obviously Google's doing a lot of testing. I think Nvidia's doing some. But I don't think any of them's actually like mass producing a car to sell. So though, if I never had to drive again, perfect.
Yeah. No, just imagine like a lot of people have sometimes an hour-long commute if they get stuck in like rush hour traffic or whatever. It can get that long.
Well, my drive to work is 10 minutes. One day there was an accident or something. It took me an hour and a half to get home
Yeah.
from a usual 10-minute drive. If I can just like sit there and read a book or something for an hour and a half, perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
I will be considerably happier.
Imagine how much more productive you can be if you can use that time instead of sitting in traffic to do something else.
Teleportation.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Never mind self-driving cars. Just teleportation.
But then you need like a receiver end.
Yeah, you'd have one at work or one at like a
Yeah, but you'd have
teleporting
to go
stop.
place that yourself.
Alex knows all about receiving ends.
Haha. Your dad's fat ass knows all about receiving ends.
Have we talked about your dad's fat ass on the podcast?
I
Well,
don't think
I,
so.
I ripped that off of a different podcast. I don't know if we really want to talk about it, but
Hey, I was going to
We
bring it up.
can.
There was one earlier that you guys said that I really want to bring it up for, but I'm like, no, I got some more taste than this. I'll wait for a better one.
Let's bring it up and you can
Yeah,
name the podcast.
So, sorry, you're saying let's bring up your dad's fat ass? Is that what you're saying?
Everybody already notices your dad's badass. So the comedy button, great group of dudes.
That's what that's from?
Yeah.
Who's the comedy button?
It is a bunch of IGN/ex-IGN employees.
Okay.
And
So some of the guys from Game Scoop are on there?
yes. One of the guys from Knockin' Boots, Brian.
Yeah.
He's on there.
All right.
Brian Altano?
Yeah.
Nice.
Brian Altana. Scott Bromley never made it. Ryan Scott definitely never made it. Anthony Gallegos, he was on a couple episodes.
No idea.
No? All right.
I haven't gone that far into Knockin' Boots.
Okay, he was on a few episodes. He's not really on it anymore other than a guest appearance, but he's one of the people who started the comedy button.
Okay.
And then Max Scoville, who also wasn't on any Knockin' Boots. Yeah, and Spring was a group of friends. They used to run a podcast called Game Spy Debriefings. And then there's also Max Scoville, but yeah, he was around. Anyway, Scott, Brian, Ryan, and Anthony used to run Game Spy Debriefings. Then IGN bought Game Spy and shut it down several years later. And then so they're like, screw it, we're just gonna keep running Comedy Button. Then this is gonna be our new podcast, which is pretty much just Game Spy Debriefings again. And yeah, they just talk about whatever's going on in their lives. And yeah, if you like our show, you'll probably like Comedy Button. Anyway, so they were making jokes once. They're like, no, like your mom jokes are now misogynist, like they're bad, they're overused. It's all about your dad's fat ass jokes now. Just for an entire podcast, like every like 3 sentences, like just like your dad's fat ass, yeah. It was great.
Oh yeah, it's a perfect replacement for your mom jokes.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't quite meet all the niches as your mom, but it's pretty good.
Don't talk about my dad's fat ass as a niche.
I'm sure there's a cream for that to go on your dad's fat ass.
Gross.
Your dad's fat ass needs cream.
Your dad's fat ass is filled with cream.
All right. Moving on.
We did, as we typically do, an escape room this weekend.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. With how many escape rooms we should do? We also need a new podcast of escape room reviews. Just hit like different ones every week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just like by the time we run out of Calgary ones, it'll start to suck when we have to start going to like Red Deer and stuff.
See, that would be interesting because if they're reviews, typically people who are going to do the room would like to know if it's good or not and would listen to us for the review. But then we couldn't talk any spoilers, right? Like,
you couldn't say the combination to the safe is 1, 2, 3, 4. But you could go in and say, that safe puzzle, really tricky unless we notice this certain thing.
Is that almost too generic, though? Just like, the puzzles in this room were cool compared to like, when you're just like, oh, this has to do with something.
Or are we just going, I don't know, if there's a room that's just gotten discontinued. Like, I know the Alice in Wonderland one is getting pulled out, isn't it?
No, actually. We asked about that, and they said that it's too popular for them to shut it down. Okay. But when they're going to make a new room, that's the first one that's going to go.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's going to remain open.
Yeah, so we'd have to find a room that's like our standard, basically, for rooms. It's about to get shut down, so it doesn't matter if we spoil it because it's never going to be used again, basically. So we go in as one of the last people. Then we want to say, okay, these puzzles are garbage, these were good. We have to compare everything either to it or modify it enough so we got something to go off of.
Yeah, because I guess escape rooms aren't like movies or books or games where after like consuming the product you might want to go back and hear like other people's opinions and stuff. I don't think escape rooms are there yet where that would be something like of interest.
You kind of can, because you can go and say like, oh, what'd you think of that color puzzle? And they're like, oh, which color puzzle? Do you mean this one or do you mean that one?
I don't think somebody would necessarily get much out. Like, I feel like I'll use a movie as an example. If you watch it, you like it or didn't like it, and you just want to hear another opinion. Somebody else might be like, oh, this part of the cinematography was great. You might be like, oh, I didn't think about that. It kind of expands your views of movies by reading it. I don't know if listening to an escape room review would be like, oh, like, I never thought of this puzzle this way. This is really cool. You'd be like, no, well, I also solved this puzzle, and that's really about it.
Well,
I don't know.
I could see that. But Sarah and I solved the last puzzle in the one we just did. We solved it wrong, and we still got the right answer.
Correct.
Basically, so I guess you kind of can. But, you know, and then certain aspects of what we did were looked over, like, I don't know, for example, keys in pockets.
Shut up.
Dude, I was ripping into Ben on Saturday night about that. I was hanging with him, his brothers, and his dad, and just like every like, little bit, it's like, yeah, but you did miss that key.
I couldn't say a single thing without him bringing it up.
Oh no, that was great. The one we just did was a very logical based puzzle one. It wasn't like here's a bit of poetry and you got to pick out a keyword and try it in a different lock.
That was the best part.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree with that. There was a couple bits of it that's like 3 different things kind of linked together, like the CDs linked together, and that was a cool bit of it.
Yeah, and with it, there was 5 sort of elements of the room that you had to complete before moving forward, and you could start work on them at
you could
like,
start on
right
any of
from the
those
get-go.
5. Yeah. And then we went in with 4 of us, and all 4 of us were almost always doing something, or we'd be in 2 groups of 2.
Yeah, for sure.
And there was puzzles that Steven and I were together that we tried and couldn't get a word scramble, basically. And then Ben and Sarah tapped in, and they got it first try.
Yeah, that felt good.
Finally, something I can brag about.
Would you say that made up for the key in the pocket, though?
No way.
There you go. Shut up, Ben.
One of the words was a proper noun. I wouldn't consider proper noun one of the words that they would use.
Which word?
Gene.
That's not a proper noun.
That's a name.
It's a gene, as in like your
Genetics?
genes, like your genetics.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way. I was thinking of the name Gene. That's why I was just like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Isn't that spelled Jean?
No, you can have Gene.
I guess.
Usually that's genetics. Yeah.
That could be like Genevieve or something, though. Shortened to Gene.
Genevieve is usually with a J,
I don't think
not
so.
a G.
You tell us,
I was like,
Alex.
considering somebody that dated a Genevieve.
There's a song called Genevieve that's with the G.
Oh, is there? Oh, okay. I don't know. To each their own.
Anyways, yeah, no, Gene is not just a name.
Yeah. That's fair. I didn't think of it that way. You're right, though.
You know.
Alex and I got close. We literally missed 2 letters where like it
You know-
almost worked, but like if you put them in the combination that Alex and I did, one column was wrong, but every other
Yeah.
So the idea was that it was 16 letters and you had to make so then if you put in a 4x4 block, there'd be words horizontally and vertically.
Yeah.
Was the idea. The way Alex
Like
and I
a
set it
crossword
up,
puzzle.
it worked up horizontally and every column worked except for one. If we switched 2 letters, it would then make every row and every column work. So that's why
Yeah.
like Alex and I got to that and we're like, this is correct other than this one. We're like, screw it, this isn't worth our time. We'll let them look at it and just move on.
Yeah.
In that room as well, there is a hard mode, I guess we want to call it, or an experts mode.
Yes.
Where you can go back and redo the room. It's the same puzzles.
No. They do not suggest redoing it.
No, I thought you could.
Well,
I
technically you could, but like all the answers are the same.
Yeah, but
It's just
like,
their
I
hint
guess.
system almost. So
Yeah.
like for that letter puzzle, they had 4 different colors to kind of help you where different letters might be. They dropped down like so where if they may have had, let's say, red, green, yellow, they would only have red and yellow in their hard mode.
Okay.
Yeah, it just makes some of the puzzles less intuitive,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. Like
Yep.
it just it doesn't hold your hand as much.
Yeah.
And they mainly refer to it as like an advanced or veterans mode.
Mhm.
If you've done like 20 rooms already,
Yep.
just across your city or whatever,
Yeah.
like you understand how all these puzzles work and you're good at it now.
Mhm.
So
There was a host in the room as well with us, which
Yes.
was something different that we hadn't experienced before.
that is such a different thing, and I actually kind of liked it.
I liked it
Did it
because
help your immersion?
No,
Hashtag immersion.
it definitely
Hashtag no
didn't
immersion.
actually.
I liked it because it was somebody actually involved in the room with us, not someone that's like, okay, where are you in the puzzle? Have you done this? Have you done that?
Yes,
And it's not just a TV screen of just knowing that somebody's watching us kind of deal. The 3 things we needed help on, because I think that was literally it, could have been explained if they added something else into the game itself, so we didn't quite need her in it there, I guess.
one of them was the key that I missed.
Yes.
One of them was
Was a color association thing.
yeah, it was using an item in a way it's not intended to be used, kind of thing,
Well,
or just noticing something
We
about
just-
the
yeah,
item.
Yeah, we
that-
just didn't notice it. Exactly.
Yeah, and then the other one was figuring out how to use a certain piece of equipment
Mm-hmm.
correctly. But regardless,
But like those couple things though, if you had checked pockets correctly, that would have been fine.
right.
If there was a little bit of note or something like that that said what the item was or was supposed to be used for or something like that or hinted at it, we
To
could have
be-
gotten away with it.
To be fair, part of the puzzle is making that connection yourself.
Yes.
Yes, I guess. We just
Oh yeah, we were just being dumb.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if I think it was just a clever puzzle. I don't think that we were necessarily being dumb about it.
Oh no, it was a very good puzzle. It's
Like, I
one of
guess-
those puzzles that like from now on, every time I see that a puzzle that looks similar
You know,
to that,
it's-
I'm gonna know what.
We
to look
haven't
for.
named the room or anything, and I'm gonna make a point now not to, because I'm just gonna say roughly what it was.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
It had to do with a calculator. I'll just actually say that.
Yeah, it had to do with calculator.
The
There
thing
are
is, though,
numbers on the
most
walls.
math, I don't really use calculators anymore. So me, like looking at calculator, when I saw that, I immediately discarded that from memory. I'm like, whatever math they're going to have us do, I can do it in my head. I don't need this.
Well,
I
how'd
immediately
that-
just passed off. Which is why when they said it, I was like, I don't need this like calculator. And when I looked down and you guys said the colors, I was like, oh, like I guess I
So,
do need it.
Again, 'cause
Brag about it.
Yeah, because we haven't said the name of the room. There was numbers, a color, more numbers on like 5 different cabinets.
Yeah.
And then the colors behind each number associated to a symbol on the calculator
Yes.
was all it was. So like an add sign was red, the division was yellow or whatever.
Yeah.
And we just didn't make that connection until our host hinted at it. So if there was like a note or something, I don't know what could have been, or if there was like a little picture of a calculator on one of the cupboards, that would have been fine.
Yeah. I definitely liked the addition of the hosted room.
Mm-hmm.
Like having somebody in there. The person we had was in training, so
Mhm.
the actual owner was in there with us
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
2 of them.
Just to supervise. It seemed somewhat unnecessary, but I did still like it.
Mhm.
It added an element of I don't want to look stupid in front of this person, because when you're in a room where it's just a camera and a screen, and that's how they monitor what your progress, you can make all sorts of stupid conclusions and whatnot without having fear of judgment. But in the moment here, like I remember Sarah and I were working on a puzzle together, and it's just like, well, let's try this. Okay, this doesn't make sense. This shape should go here. Why don't we have this shape? And then afterwards, we found there was extra
Bottles.
shapes.
You can just say it. 'Cause,
Bottles.
again, we haven't named it.
Yeah, bottles of certain shape.
That had to go in certain spots.
Yeah,
Basically.
and we found extra bottles that somebody else had found later, but the information hadn't been shared yet.
Mhm.
So, and the guy at the end of the puzzle, he's just like, I've never seen somebody take so long on that puzzle because...
Well, no, he said you guys solved it quick. He said he never saw somebody who got stuck on the like finding the bottles part, because you guys just
Oh.
had no idea there was 2 more bottles. Because he said
Right.
he said most people just don't notice it at all, and the few people who do can't make the connection that you guys made.
Yeah.
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 Ben was just missing 2 of the bottles. That
Yeah,
were
it
in
was
it.
simply put like he
They were
had
in a
3 and
box,
he
in a
just like had
cupboard.
no idea the last 2 bottles existed. And the moment he knew, he's like, "Oh, this is what we do." But
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, like where the bottles were supposed to go, there was an object that you needed to move out of the way, and then there was something on the back wall that the bottles could relate to.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice that thing on the back wall when I initially moved the object away. I'm like, I moved it away, I looked around, I didn't see anything, even though it was right in front of my face, and I put the object back.
this is why you need surgery.
Yes, it is. Coming Christmas 2017.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, it was a great room. Like, I almost wish more rooms had that depth of logic to the puzzle, but had the confined escape rooms aesthetic.
Yes.
I feel
Yeah,
like that
'cause
would be good.
Confined escape room is a very pretty room, I guess.
It's
you
a
wanna
very
call it.
high budget.
Exactly. So like in the Frankenstein one, there's a lot of pipes and steam or steampunk things, I guess you want to call it that. Test tubes and beakers and obviously not, but jars of heads and stuff. Well, that's really cool.
Like I wouldn't doubt if like one room at Confined had the budget of every single room at this other place we went to.
Yeah.
I still won't name just because we just spoiled some stuff about it. But which is fine because I may have enjoyed the puzzles at this lower budget place better.
Oh yeah.
Which
No.
goes
Yeah.
back to what you were saying, Ben, of I wish they had that guy's care and like ability in designing all those things, and then plus the budget.
Well,
Confined would just be like
the
incredible.
guy from the place that we just did, he designed some of Confine's rooms. Didn't he? Or did
Some of
he
the
design
elements.
some of their
He
puzzles?
did a couple puzzles in that. But he didn't do like
that's
the
it.
full
Okay.
like flow and stuff.
Yeah.
With Confined, the maker of those rooms works with Nick, actually, my brother.
Is he the maker or just a guy that works for him? Or it's the
He
actual...
owns the company.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
is he doing the full design of the rooms, or is he just creating like the functional?
I believe he's doing... I don't know for sure,
Yeah, fair enough.
but I believe he's doing the design of the rooms. Like, he's overseeing the whole creation of the room.
And don't get me wrong, the confined stuff for the most part is fine. There's
Yeah.
usually like 1 or 2 things in the confined rooms I'm just like, okay, like I don't really like this.
Yeah, like this could have been done differently. But
Yeah.
regardless, the reason why they're so good is because Nick is part of a union that works with theater and set
Theater
design.
and filmmakers and
Filmmaking and set design. So of course the rooms are going to look fantastic if this guy's already a part of that sort of scene and has the ability to make movie style or movie quality props and such.
Yeah.
Including animatronics and whatnot. I am a very big fan of escape rooms, and we're hoping to do another one this week.
Yep.
So we'll probably talk about that on next podcast if that happens.
I won't be here, but
Yeah.
absolutely. I know. I'm looking forward to it. I've done 3 so far, and they've all been fantastic.
Yeah.
This is our best one yet.
Did you ever do you did one at the locked room, right?
No,
I don't think he
I've
has.
done the cabin, Frankenstein, and then this most recent one.
Okay. So the locked room is the name of one company we have in Calgary, and they were actually first to market in Calgary. I don't know if they're first to market everywhere, but they were sort of like the initiators of this whole puzzle, live action experience that you can do. And I find they have the lowest quality rooms.
Oh, really?
Like they have several locations across Calgary. There's like 16 rooms in Calgary that they have or something.
Oh, wow.
Across 4 different areas. And yeah, like their method for giving you hints is they send a guy in who asks you questions about how far you've made progress while the clock is running.
Yeah, I know.
So you're wasting time telling the guy information that every other escape room place in the city is monitoring you while you're doing it, so that if you say, I need a hint, the hint is there within a few seconds.
Yep.
Just as long as it takes them to type it on a screen or tell you it.
Yeah, or in this case, there's the host in the room.
Yeah.
That can help you out.
So with the locked room, like sometimes you'll yell out to the microphones in the room, hey, we would like a hint. We've all agreed on a hint. And then I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute later, a guy or girl will come into the room and be like, all right, have you guys found this thing yet? Okay, are you at this point yet? And it's just like, it just seems really low budget.
Would you say that it takes you away from the immersion?
Absolutely. But it also leads risk to spoiling. Because if they're asking you, have you hit this point yet? It's just like, no, we haven't hit that point yet, but now we know about that point.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So it's almost worth only one of you going out
Yeah.
and talking to the guy or something.
Yeah, and like they show you the time you have left to complete the room with an old what's that style of clock called where it's like
Analog?
red
What?
It's like red text that's like
It was just a digital timer.
it's a digital timer, yes. It almost looks like a basketball clock, like that sort of thing.
His scoreboard?
Like a scoreboard clock.
Okay. I don't know. I just know it's a digital clock.
Yeah, I don't know, because
It just kind of looks a low budget.
yeah.
Like maybe that's just the best way to put it. Like it's like a weird like blocky time. It's not like a screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Like an old alarm clock that is digital.
Yeah, so it was like whatever 2 8s, semicolon, and 2 8s basically. It's all it looks
exactly.
like.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially, and then
like that.
various parts of the 8.
Yeah, like instead of having
light
like it set up to a computer, it looks like they might as well just hit a button before they leave. That's going to start the timer almost.
Yeah.
Um,
Because at Confined, you have a whole TV screen in there. Like
Yep.
there's information on it. The timer's going. They'll type out hints that you can read on the
Yep.
screen.
and then they'll type out hints, and you can ask for clues or whatever. They'll give you nudges or something. Or it'll be like, okay, that's not supposed to move. You aren't supposed to do that puzzle yet.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
It's interesting to see because so many of these companies are doing things right.
Yeah, but they're all just doing them differently.
And
Kinda deal.
you want one company to do all those right things that
Yeah.
you're seeing in all the separate companies.
I would say it's Locked Room more than any other company that I've participated in has had more brute forcing of puzzles than any of the other ones in my experience.
Hey, you just got to try the same combo
Where
15
it more
different
we
times.
hit a point where we're like, we don't know or we feel like this isn't working, so we're just gonna try absolutely everything until we just hit it. There's
Right on.
one I did where there's a weird it was like you had to find like the right path through this thing. Like it wasn't a maze, but like the path was kind of it's pretty sure. Okay, I'll put it this way, kind of change the format of it. It was a bunch of buttons, and you had to hit the buttons in the right order, pretty much.
Okay.
We couldn't find any clues for what order to do the buttons in. So maybe there was a clue, but eventually got a point where like we have searched this entire room and we couldn't find anything that even looked slightly related. So we just hit buttons randomly and we eventually got after like a few minutes. I'm like, oh, like I don't feel cool or like clever for figuring out this puzzle.
Yeah.
I just feel like I hit the point where I was like, searching is going to take more time than random guesses, and the random guesses were very quick compared to searching for a solution.
Yeah.
And then the last puzzle in that same room was the same thing where it was like supposed to be this cool high tech thing, and it just didn't work. And so we just pretty much brute force of just like randomly guessing. We eventually got it right, and we're just like, well, this is kind of an anticlimactic finish.
Fair enough.
That was the other thing with this room. This thing I told them, the one we just recently did, everything worked.
Yes.
That was my favorite part. There was one thing and I was like, okay, this didn't really work that well. We had to like fidget with it. It was annoying. Everything just worked perfectly. It was great.
There was a lack of mechanical puzzles that I did see. Like it seemed a lot. It seemed to be a lot more. Here's the information. Input the information as opposed to pull the levers or push the buttons.
I agree, but I feel like the interactivity you still had to do in the room to solve the puzzles made up for and still made it feel like a mechanical thing, even though obviously it wasn't. That's me. Obviously, you can have a different opinion, but
that's fair.
In Frankenstein, though, like there were doors that opened, like
potential
certain
spoilers
things dropped. Well,
I'm just trying to make sure.
Doors open, right? Things happen
vague enough,
in the room. Yeah. There was none of that in the one that we just did. Basically,
Correct.
It was all, for lack of better words, there's a lock on a cabinet, basically. And there's a couple of different iterations of those, but there was no enter in a code and something will drop or come from the ceiling or a tongue will come out of somewhere.
We're very much working through very normal rooms.
Yeah. And as well, it's because of the puzzle that we were doing. To me, if you were to go into that legitimate environment, you wouldn't have doors that would come out of nowhere, I don't know, tongues hanging from the ceiling or whatever kind of deal.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be there. That's out of place for that environment.
Right.
So in some of the other rooms there might be, but for this one that I'm trying not to say.
Yeah.
For what it is, it's not going to have that. It would be cool if there was a secret compartment because I could see that maybe, but no.
I kind of want to take you to the place that I did my work Christmas party at, the escape room we did. Because who knows, maybe that was just a bad escape room for that company, but I think it would be interesting. Because for the most part, you've enjoyed all the rooms you've done, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay. I think if you went to this other place, you might actually have the first room you did not enjoy.
Okay.
I think that'd just be an interesting experience seeing like...
Yeah, take me.
A good room. The problem is that they are kind of expensive. So just like escape rooms in general. It's kind of hard to justify like, hey, there's this thing I don't think you're going to enjoy and I want you to go spend $30 on it. Like,
it's almost worth it to me because I enjoy the sort of genre of entertainment so much that I like to kind of experience how bad it can get.
Yeah. And you notice, maybe this was just one specific bad room with this company, but this was one where like when I did it, I was like, wow, this is... And like I still enjoyed it, I guess, partially probably because of the company I was with. But very much doing this, I'm like, this is considerably worse than every other room I've done.
Wow.
It was very interesting. It was one of the same place we did. It was a lower budget room, which is fine. Because that was one thing I was nervous about when we went to this place. When we were pulling up to it, I'm like, if this is a lower budget room, I'm like, this place might be bad. Like the Christmas party one I did was.
It had a very good review on the Google reviews that we did.
Yeah. And that was great. And this place is awesome. But
highly would recommend going there. After we actually went into it, it was cool.
Yeah.
But finding it looked like it's a shack almost.
Like an abandoned building.
Yeah. But I was nervous that this was going to be bad because like, I don't really care, but I'm going to feel bad if everybody kind of just has a bad experience about it.
Yep.
And then
and it's one of those things as well that again, doing escape rooms they aren't exactly cheap to do.
Yeah.
So you do expect to be entertained for an hour and a bit or whatever. And this room that we did was a 70-minute room.
Yeah.
Or is that too spoilery, I guess, to find
no,
out?
That's fine, whatever.
It's a 70-minute room, which is 10 minutes longer than a lot of other stuff.
Average, yeah.
But it's still, I'll put it this way, it was more expensive than confined to do.
I do love the idea that they're pushing the limit of the time it takes because the standard is an hour, 60 minutes. And they're pushing it to 70, which means it's entirely possible that you'll have 2-hour rooms, 3-hour rooms.
For sure. I'm looking forward to those.
Oh, absolutely.
And in the previous rooms that I've done with you guys, we did the cabin first. We got it with like 30 seconds to spare. We did Frankenstein. We got it with like 8 seconds to spare.
Yeah.
This one, we got it with 6 minutes.
I think if you're going to have a longer room, you almost need a guided person.
Yeah. And
like a host.
Because like if you want
people here... Sorry.
when you have no idea really how much is left, especially like an hour, you're doing like, okay, like I feel like I've done a fair amount in the first 30 minutes, but we've been stuck for 10 minutes. I feel like we need a hint. You can kind of guess that, where I feel like if you go to like a 3-hour room, you're going to lose that sense of time of where you think you're at. Where if you have a host person, like, okay, like we're 20 minutes in, they already realize that we've been stuck 20 minutes. Most people have moved on by now. Where you might think, oh, we have 3 hours, we have plenty of time. If the person realizes like 20 minutes, they haven't even gotten started on the first thing yet, they can already start to kind of guide you and make sure you're
hold your hand
things.
a bit.
That's what I do love about the hosted abilities.
Yeah.
That's they talked about they call it season 1, season 2. The owner of this stuff that we're talking about, he's on to season 2, which is a more guided.
Yeah, he's trying to expand what he wants.
Where a host actually has to perform something, and there are not just a host, there are actual actors in the room with you.
Right.
So I assume that will be a 2 or a 3-hour room where there are people you do have to go and be like, hey, do you know who killed this person, or do you know who poisoned this person's drink or something?
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Or it's like, okay, we can't ask that, but it's like, did you see any shady person hanging around here? Oh, you saw somebody that was 6'4" with red hair and green shoes. I don't know. Kind of deal. You can ask them hints towards things that'll help you out with later clues.
I find that, or just thinking about it now, if I owned the business, the escape room business, and I had a 3-hour room, I would put a host in it, like an actor or actress. But I don't think I would have them nudge the person through the room to make sure they complete it.
Yep.
Because if it's a 3-hour room and it takes them 3 hours to get through the first third of it or first quarter of it, then that just is more reason for them to come back to like, okay, I can immediately get through the first half of this thing.
Yeah, to know what
to see the end of it, right? Like,
well, it's one of those things that like I would say kind of give them a discount. So if it costs you whatever $30 to do it, kind of deal. The next turn it only costs you like $15 or $20, kind of if you don't complete it.
That would, I don't know, because like,
do you really think you'd go back to the same room
if you only got halfway
if I never
through?
completed it?
Because there's a lot of escape rooms in the city.
Yeah.
If there was one like a building and there's like 4 rooms at a time that you could do in the entire city, maybe I could see it. But like in Gresines, like if you fail one, it's like, yeah, but I have 25 other ones I can do in the city.
Yeah.
Do you really go back?
You just make like a 4-hour room that's ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
And then everybody in Calgary is trying to beat it. And it's just stupidly booked up.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. So you're always trying to
make it a
get back in.
legend.
Exactly. And then you get your picture on the wall or something. I don't know. And then after then, it obviously you wouldn't like release like the cheats or the hints or anything like that. You see who could beat your time after that then.
I feel like you guys are overestimating how much people are willing to put up with something very difficult that's constantly costing them money.
Oh god, yeah. And again, these are expensive things. These are an expensive hobby to get into.
I don't think I'm you said underestimating it.
Yes.
I'd say you're overestimating people's like yearning, their want to do it. So underestimating. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You guys are overestimating how many people would be interested. Is my argument.
I don't think I am, because there's enough people in the city that pay a lot more money for a lot less useful things. And I think if you had like a 3 or 4 hour room where, say, the people only get through half of it, but they still paid their, I don't know, you charge them $40-$50 for that long of a room. I think they would like think about it, come back maybe a month or 2 later, and then blow through the first half of it because they've learned it already just to see the final end. And they'll pay another $40-$50. I think there's enough people that would do that.
When they have 30 other rooms they can go to instead? Because that's the thing, though. Like, if this is the only experience you can get in Calgary, I think I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
When you have like 30 other options?
Well, if it is that good, though, or I'm sorry, Stephen, but if you are that immersed into it, and like you enjoyed it that much, and like the actors and everybody else have such a good atmosphere, you have such a fun time doing it, then I can see that. Again, I think $50 probably makes sense for a 2 or 3 hour thing, but it's still very steep.
Right.
Kind of deal, because I don't know. Like,
well, I know not everybody can afford that.
Well, like, okay, how about this? We've done several rooms. If you only made it halfway through any of the rooms we've done so far, would you really go back? I can say no for me. I would not have gone back to a single one of the rooms we've done so far.
I think if we only made it, say, a quarter to a half, like average a third of the way through Frankenstein, I would pay again to go finish that room.
But you probably wouldn't finish it because you only did a third. So you'd probably only get to your second third then if we're following that logic.
Then you'd pay
In which case, you'd pay a third time to finish it?
Well, you're assuming that every step of the puzzle is the same difficulty.
Well, if we're assuming you're getting a third of the way, why do you think you could get 2/3 of the way? Otherwise, I'd say you got halfway.
Because if the second 2/3 are easier than the first third, because they were saying it takes a while to get going, but once you get going, everything sort of leads to each other.
Okay, then I'd argue you got 50% of the way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue you got a third.
I'm just making a hypothetical situation. I'm saying that for any room, if I got on average a third of the way, maybe I only got a quarter, maybe I only got a half, but average a third or somewhere in that in between that quarter and half, I think that would I think my curiosity would get the better of me.
Okay.
So, I think there's enough people in the city that would also happen, especially for a long room that could become legendary.
Okay, so then, like, flip it a different way. You would rather go back to one of those rooms compared to trying just something new and experiencing a brand new experience. Again, if you say yes, that's fine. We just have different opinions. To me, that sounds completely insane. It would be like if I did absolutely everything in the city already, and it's like, well, I want to do another one. I guess I'll go back to the one I haven't finished.
That's probably the situation I would find myself in too.
Okay, because I don't think most people are doing that many escape rooms. But Locked Room has 3 locations. There's Confined, there's Escape Hour, there's the one we just did. And I'm sure there's one on... Shoot. There's one Derek was telling us
There's
about.
one called Cognito.
So that's something like, okay, so yeah, there's that one. I'm sure there's still a couple more.
Yeah.
So, again, like, I don't know. Like, we still have a lot we can do in this city.
Yeah, but say 2 years from now, do you think we'll have them all done?
Probably not.
No?
Okay, fine. Okay, maybe. So I guess you could be right.
So 2 years from now, say I never completed Frankenstein.
Frankenstein wouldn't be up by then, but yes. Okay.
I think it would. I think they've sunk enough money into that room to make it last multiple years.
Okay, sure. You know, yeah, for hypothetical, and yeah, you could be right. So I haven't seen any room actually get expired yet, so I actually don't know how long these things last for. Yeah. So you could be right. 2 years.
The first room I ever did is still up, and that was 2 years ago.
Okay, fair enough. You're right, though.
So they may have tweaked it or like changed some of the puzzles in it to make them either harder or easier, but regardless.
Would you go back to the same place or the same room even, or same puzzle, with altered puzzles? So instead of it being like
maybe
like slightly different hints, like could be still the same, but if everything was just tweaked just a little bit, like the bottles, for instance, the bottles weren't there anymore. Well, it was, I don't know, chalices or something. I don't know, but it was like something else a little bit different.
It would depend. So pretty much all this depends on me. Do I have other escape rooms I can go to? Pretty much, if there's other ones I can try, I'd pretty much always just do that. I don't feel the need to.
Yeah, but let's just say we're just hanging out one night at the bar like we've done before and just gone, it's 9 o'clock right now. Let's go to an escape room. And we go up and drive to the nearest place. Kind of, because we've done that before.
Is there a second option that we haven't done yet?
No. Because everything else shuts at 8 o'clock.
Okay, if we've done every single room in the city and this is like the only thing we can do, and
yeah,
things
well, it's
were
just
altered,
what you're figuring out to do for the mood.
Here's something else we haven't considered. Most of the
Your
companies
dad's fat
that
ass.
It's hard to not consider it.
Most of the companies all the companies that we've been to thus far, every room, and there's an average of 4 rooms per company, has had a different theme. What if there was a company that had a single theme spread among 4 rooms, and you do them serially, if that makes sense? So you do room 1 before you do room 2, before you do room 3.
Sure, but those are then brand new experiences for each one.
Yeah.
That being said, if you don't complete room 1, you don't want to do room 2 until you completed room 1.
What I'm looking forward to is it either be serially, or it doesn't matter which one you do in order. How it's like 4 rooms, and there's a 5th room. In that 5th room, you could take information you learned in the previous 4 rooms and make it easier. Kind of deal. So there's various clues or how things are done, or certain puzzles, or obviously you couldn't take like props from each.
Right.
But if you remembered like 1, 2, 3, 4 was like the passcode for the safe in the one room, and you saw a safe but with no hints, you might be able to want to try it anyway. Because
that would be super advanced.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
But like, so you could do the advanced room, but there's not as many hints in that advanced room, kind of deal.
So just in generally consecutive rooms.
Yeah.
Where you have to do one before you can do another. If that caught on as sort of, that became more regular, I think that would justify doing a room more than once.
Okay, so what if you get most of the way through? You're stuck on the last 2 puzzles.
I don't think it would be worth it at that point.
So you would just skip it? Or would you just skip every single... Like, that's... I don't think the direction you're suggesting, I don't think that's going to be the direction locked rooms go.
If
Because of that concern.
if we go the direction Alex is suggesting, then where you need that previous information to do the
you don't
room.
necessarily need it. It just helps you out a lot.
Okay,
Kind of deal.
if you're doing it that way, then I think it's possible. You can be like, screw it, I'll do room number 2 if I can sort of guess my way through it.
Yeah.
I'll take the risk. But because I didn't complete room number 1.
Exactly.
But if it's you absolutely need to do number 1 to completion, then the way around that is you have it hosted and you make sure they nudge you through so that you complete it.
Yeah.
And that way it's not a problem that you didn't complete it.
Okay, maybe I got lost part 3. Why would you need to complete room 1 before you go into room 2?
Well, I'm saying you got to complete rooms 1 through 4 before you go into room 5.
Like,
Basically.
why do you need to do that?
I don't know, previous puzzles or clues or something. Or
I
remember,
would justify it with storyline.
Yeah.
Okay,
Otherwise,
so in that case, if you didn't actually finish room 1, you could just move on to room 2, and it's not a big deal.
If you want to break your immersion.
Because I
well-
feel like all this comes to a problem of if you miss the final puzzle, you could be chapped that you pretty much have to be forced to move on or pay $25 just to see that last puzzle through. And that sucks from a consumer perspective.
Do the puzzle better.
Yeah. And this is also coming from Steven, the guy that wouldn't go back and redo a room, the guy that became better at a lot of things because somebody was better than him. So the fact that if you couldn't get through a room, you wouldn't go back to that room just so you could say you're better than somebody. Like if the 3 of us went and did a room and then we couldn't get through it, and then Ben, myself, and Sarah went and did it, and we got through that room next time, would you not want to try and be better than us and beat our time?
If you guys already had a second experience, I'm probably not going to beat that because you guys already had your first experience through. Also, keep in mind, half these rooms, the moment you do a second time, if you know half the solutions already, if you memorize those, the room becomes very boring very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Most of those rooms could be solved within probably 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that like if you logic follow everything. I mean like if you say the combination to this is this one is this one is this, you're just unlocking locks at that point, and you have a 5-10 minute room.
And in a lot of cases, you can skip a lot.
All right.
Yeah, especially if you know if you know these combinations, you then don't have to do a lot of logical following through of things.
If you can get to the final thing in the room we just did by just busting through those 5
Which you
different
can
locks
do.
and getting through the lock to get through the other place, which you can do as well.
I will slightly disagree. You would need...
Well, you just need one number.
You need 3 total combinations to finish that room.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean 3 combinations isn't even hard to memorize. So we could easily go back and have that room solved in 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, do you remember those combinations?
If I knew we were going to go back, I would have paid more attention.
Okay.
I don't have them memorized, but okay, screw it. So we do it twice more.
Yeah.
Once to memorize it, in which case you can have 4 or 5 people in a room, all of us memorize one combination, done.
Oh yeah, easy.
We're out of that room. But again, I don't care about proving myself better in that sense.
Yeah.
Because I don't really think I'm necessarily doing it better. I would say I am.
You're just doing it faster.
I'm choosing to use resources in ways that nobody else cares about. Nobody else wants to spend money just to have these codes memorized and get it in 3 minutes.
Fair enough.
To be fair, this is all speculating on the future of where escape rooms could go.
Yeah, they might all just go belly up, and nobody else would be interested in doing them again as well.
I don't think so, man. I think
as a kid, I loved doing the flash games.
I do think they're going to hit a peak. I don't think there's going to be this type of explosion. Because I feel like having 15 locations in the city, I don't think we're going to permanently have a ton of locations. I think there will always be a few locations.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll evolve into a few locations that are multi-hour locations, like extended duration but less location.
Sure. Yeah, and that being said, though, I did enjoy us just going from the bar to it and doing an hour, and not having to spend 3 hours towards something. And I'd be fine doing that in the daytime, but if it's 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I don't want to be up till midnight doing puzzles because my brain is fried by 6 o'clock.
Ooh, that's another interesting thing.
Do you know what I mean? Like
I wonder
the
how many
timing of it all?
hours until you become fatigued.
Oh yeah,
Frustration
I definitely thought about that.
I'm thinking about other entertainment forms that you can do in the city, such as laser tag, because they do Iron Man matches where
those are brutal.
For from midnight till 6 a.m. you're playing laser tag.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so
those walk-ins, they're brutal.
For this one, it's a lot of brain work, which is also very fatiguing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's impossible. I think people would do it.
Yeah, I think people would do it. I mean, just fatigue of you're bored and just want to get through it.
Yeah, and just I've tried this puzzle 15 times. Everybody's tried this puzzle, and it could be one of those things that you get fried when it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure everything worked in that room.
This is why I almost wonder if when you get longer, if you need a host, because like with other systems, they usually say you can get 3 hints. For this place, technically, you get as many hints as you wanted.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you got locked 3 hints, you hit all 3 within your first hour and a half, and you were stuck on a puzzle. Like, imagine how frustrated you'd be of just like, why don't we just leave? Like, this is boring.
Yeah, unless the host would know what's a hint and what's a nudge kind of deal. And you have to clearly define, look under the table and try that code, or just like, have you guys searched the table?
Yeah. I feel like
those are 2 different things.
I feel like the longer you have, the more help you have to be willing to provide.
Yes.
I did frickin' the locked room. If you take a hint from them, they won't put your score on the leaderboard.
Confined is the same thing.
Really?
Okay. But when I did my very first room there was a safe we had to open, and we found the combination, which was number, pound sign.
Mm-hmm.
And the pound sign also is a symbol for the term number. So when we put this number in, there was a pound sign button to hit, and once you hit the pound sign after you input the number, that activates it and it opens.
Yeah.
That didn't clue in for us that you had to hit the pound sign to open the safe. So we put in the number, it didn't open. We're like, we did it wrong. What's the number? We tried it again. Maybe we have to put it in backwards. Put it in backwards, and nothing happened. And we had to use a hint, and they're like, oh yeah, you just hit the pound sign at the end.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
that
wouldn't...
almost could have been information to share on the technical side before we entered. Like somehow, sometimes you have to click the lock mechanism twice to reset it.
Yep.
I feel like that could have been information, but we would have been on the leaderboards had we have known that information.
Yeah. That's what kind of like almost removing. I don't want to say remove the leaderboard aspects. That's kind of cool when you're like, dude, like we did it. We hit the top 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it makes using hints more frustrating.
Yeah.
When you're just like, I feel like there's a cost to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess then the struggle is like if somebody's constantly asking for hints. See, this is why again, I kind of like the host, because if they feel like you're on pace to finish the room, they can just be like, I don't know, and then just let you continue. Because it's like, okay, cool. Like we're not in strenuous time. Where it's like when we were like falling behind, they're like, oh, like here's a hint to make sure you can still kind of hit it. Because as much as like it's like you kind of want to finish rooms.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Kind of like even it sucks getting hints. Like it sucks to just be like them walking in, and just be like, "Hey, so time's up, get out." Like you guys didn't do it. And it's like, yeah, that's not really a satisfying finish.
It's not, but I think that if people expect to beat the room every single time, you lose a sense of urgency.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that's almost where this place also did it right, though. Is we got to the end and we still could have messed up.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
You know, Sarah and I definitely could have been wrong on the last bit.
Yeah. So this room, instead of like a typical room, you're trying to unlock the door that you entered to get out, or something similar. This one, you're trying to solve a puzzle, and you input to the hostess your answer to that puzzle.
Yeah.
And they will tell you if you're wrong or right, but you get one shot at your input.
Yeah.
Which was a very interesting.
Yeah, because if we messed up, we still got to see the entire room.
Yep.
We still got to experience it. It was just if at the end we messed up, it would be like, oh shoot, where did we make our mistake? Oh, right here. Oh shoot, that was fun. And then we leave and we still have our satisfying ending.
Yep.
Yes.
We still saw everything the room had to offer. We messed up on a logic puzzle, and like I still feel like that's a satisfying ending.
Yeah.
Compared to like being like, oh, you guys just missed a third of the room. It's like, oh well, kind of sucks.
It was definitely one of those things as well. There was no clock in the room that we did, so I had no idea how time was for us.
That's a good point.
There was a certain point that we did end up opening somewhere, and going through that is like, holy shit, there's a whole other half to this, and I don't know what time we're at. I don't know if we're halfway, or if we got 15 minutes left. And then eventually it came up to the end, and we were.
Oh, you can just ask her for time, though.
Oh yeah, but who does that?
I will point out there was a clock in the room.
Yeah, but none of us knew how to read an analog clock.
Oh, I can read an analog clock.
Of course we all can. None of us just paid attention to it. Come on.
Dad's fat ass can read an analog clock.
It doesn't make sense.
That as well. Right at the end, she was like, "Okay, you guys have 10 minutes before something happens to do with the immersion in there." And all of us were like, Sarah and I found our final bit of thing to submit, and we're like, "Here, you guys, we know what we have to submit. Here's our rough logic behind it. Screw it. We got 10 minutes left. We're running out of time. Hand it in." And we're just lucky that we were right, even though Sarah and I were wrong.
It was a nice sort of finale because Steven and I were working on one half of the finale, and you two were working on the other half, and we completed it at like exactly the same time.
You know? Well,
Yeah, like-
we finished ours and we went to check on you guys since like, okay, what do you need help on? Because we think we know the final answer.
And
then you literally open up the last thing and it's like, all right, I guess we just hand it in. Here's our logic and we go.
Yeah.
You know, and then our host told us a story at the end, kind of what happened after we submitted it and this, that, and the other thing. It was really cool. And I really like that aspect of it. And in her story, she could have said, and then you die or whatever.
Yeah.
And just completely blown it all up in our face after we're all like, something's happening. We've done something right. We've done it all right. And then you die. Shit.
Yeah.
But we were right.
I will say that when you were trying to justify your logic to Steven and I, it's like, okay, this is what we've come up with. What do you think? And Steven's just like, we don't have time to argue this. Let's
Exactly.
just go with it.
Yep.
If he would have put in the time to dissect your logic, we probably would have wasted too much time because
Absolutely.
you guys were actually wrong.
I said,
Oh, yeah.
Like, I knew that we had 10 minutes. Like, hey, when we're already a few minutes down, I'm just like, is this really worth it? Or for the most part, because as much as we keep ripping on Ben for that key that he blatantly missed.
Shut up.
For the most part, like, I trusted everybody in that room to figure it out. So like, that's when it's like, you missed a game. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's gonna happen. People are gonna miss small things.
Yeah.
So same thing. When I went down, like, you guys started to explain to me, I realized like this was gonna be a multi-step puzzle, figuring it all out. I'm like, I can either try to follow this and probably get frustrated or to make you guys second guess yourself, or I can trust you guys, which I do, and I'm like, I'll happily just accept it. If you guys mess up, it's like, whatever. Like, I can happily accept that because Ben messed up the key.
You know, it was legitimately pure luck. And then when the guy was talking to us, he was like, yeah, no, all of your answers are wrong, but your logic behind your answers was still wrong. You just guessed right, basically. That's what it came down to. And it's like, okay, cool, we'll take it.
That owner was a gem too.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, really nice guy.
We made him stay super late. So, yeah, shout out to those guys. They're
That we're not going to give a shout out to.
Yeah, unless, do we want to say the name or anything? Well, we haven't yet.
I feel like we've said too much stuff. Maybe we'll give him like a show in like a month or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Or like when we have confirmation that
Well-
they're shutting down that room, then we will like happily sing their
I'll
praises.
put it this way. If anybody out there knows what's going on, there's a picture of us after completing it out on the internets right now.
Actually,
with
or the other
with
way,
place
if you're
tagged
actually
in it.
that curious, feel free to tweet at us and we can send you like a direct message or something. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really care.
So we've talked about escape rooms for like 40 minutes now.
I
know.
was watching the time.
I've been
Holy
like slowing
shit.
it down. Like, oh man,
Yeah,
oh,
we were
man.
very-
like there's
we were
probably
very
a
sorry.
list of things we can talk about tonight.
But that's fine because now it's time for Safe Word.
Go for
Safe
it.
Word is a part of our show where we take terms and sentences off of urbandictionary.com and we give our best shot at defining them.
All right. What is a Fosbury flop?
Fosbury flop?
Fosbury flop.
Okay, that seemed like a fruit berry.
Fosbury. Fosbury.
Fosbury.
Oh yeah, no, I think your either pronunciation is right. I was just thinking like a blueberries or something of Fosbury.
No,
So you know the Muppets.
No,
I'm barely familiar.
You know Fozzie Bear.
Yes.
A Fosbury flop is when Fozzie Bear does a belly flop at the Muppets pool party.
Is that the 6th movie that's coming out for the Muppets? The Muppets have a pool party?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm wrong on this.
No.
So I think my
You
definition
wrong? Never.
I can't think of anything. So therefore, my already assuming I'm wrong, I'm going to go with it anyway because I can't think of anything else more clever. Are you guys familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes.
The main character is named something kind of like Fosbury.
It's Freddy Fazbear, isn't it?
Is it Fosbury?
Freddy Fazbear.
Fazbear. That's
Well, screw. I'm going to stick with this anyway because
it's a
I'm already
dyslexic
committed.
Freddy Fazbear.
So
Fazbear.
it is the definition given to the newest Five Nights at Freddy's game because after they've made so many, it's kind of the assumption that's going to flop.
Okay.
Okay.
Aren't they making a movie now?
I don't know. Maybe.
Likely.
There's a funny story about Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'll go into that later if we have
Okay.
time.
So the Fosbury flop, Ben was closest by 2 aspects: the bear and the belly flop.
Oh, nice. I'll take it.
So it is the act of wiping one's ass with a teddy bear, preferably a Fozzie bear, if available, and then belly flopping onto the bear.
What? Oh my god.
There you go. So Ben, you get the nugs.
I'll take the nugs. So the terms I've brought: entrepreneur,
A fertilizer salesman.
It's somebody who thinks they can come up with great ideas for products and whatnot, and they just tank horribly.
Okay.
Oh, that's a way better one. The guy who's always like, no, I have this great idea. We should go into business. Like, no, shut up.
I have a great idea.
So Nick, he always does that.
Yes. He said one tonight. Shit.
An entrepreneur. Someone who makes a living selling bullshit to the masses.
Fair enough. Snake oil.
Snake oil.
There's a whole thing in like this West and whatnot when they'd sell you snake oil.
Oh.
And they like say it's like a magic healing potion and whatnot, and it would just be like water in a jar.
They made a joke about it in Silicon Valley, season 1.
Yes, obviously, God, Ben.
Your second term.
Mm-hmm.
Napstipated.
Napstipated. It's all right. This is slightly British for you. It's when you're wearing a nappy, and a nappy, as some of you might know, is another for diaper.
Yeah.
It's when you're wearing like a size down diaper, so it's a little bit tight. When you really got to go, but the diaper's holding it in you, so you're napstipated.
Okay.
Steven. He's got nothing.
Well,
He's got
I
nothing.
can't believe you just said that.
What?
I am going to say it is when you exert a ton of energy trying to take a poop. That you go take a nap after.
You just knock yourself unconscious with the
It's
force?
just like, whoa, I burned a lot of calories there. I'm going to bed.
That's awesome. Napstipated is when you really need to nap, but you can't. You're too restless. It's like you're so tired. It's like being overtired. Like you need to sleep, but you're just you're restless. You ever
Okay.
had that?
No.
Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
No.
Okay.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, what's sleep paralysis?
It blows. Or okay, I should flip this. I pretty much have WebMD sleep paralysis, which case I had no idea what it was until somebody described it to me once. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I have had that in the past.
Okay.
I don't know if it's really something you actually get diagnosed as. I don't really know. It was just like a description of like a feeling. I heard being overtired causes it, so that's why I kind of brought it up.
Okay.
But to my understanding, it pretty much is when your body shuts down from exhaustion, but your brain's still running, which sends your brain into a panic state because your body won't respond to anything it does and just immediately sends into like a panic mode into the rest of your body, which can either make like your body feel into like intense pain or something because your brain's like something's wrong.
Yeah, it's trying to wake you up.
Yeah. But you're just like pretty much frozen and can't do anything. And then you'll just like randomly like snap awake and like everything's fine. Then when you try to go back to sleep, it just happens again and you just get like it's like a cycle. Yeah.
You've been overtired a lot?
I haven't had it recently. Last time I had was probably a couple of months ago. I'll just randomly have it like a few times a year. I wouldn't even necessarily say it's always overtired. It'll sometimes keep me up very late. Like I might go to bed at 11, which for me isn't overly late at all, but it can keep me up till like 3 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that you had it when you had vertigo.
I don't think so.
No?
No. Maybe I did. I don't really remember. I tried to blur that entire point in my life because it was terrible.
Yeah, and yet you still got perfect attendance.
Yeah, I did. I got a lot of awful awards. I was in class with Peyton.
Yeah.
Who's a very happy, bubbly person, very optimistic.
Yeah.
I got the positive attitude award over her. I remember my teacher actually asked them to change it. She's like, that's not fair because Steven's miserable.
That is awesome.
Man, why do people like you?
How much school did you miss when you had vertigo? You missed months. Like 2 months?
Somewhere between 2 and 3 months.
Yeah. And yet Steven still got the perfect attendance award for making class every day, never being late or anything.
Well, all of his absences were excused.
Excuse absences voided it. You weren't supposed to have it if you had excuse absence. Because think about it, they gave that award to like a couple hundred people.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
So it was supposed to be like, no, if you like called in absent for any reason, then it was supposed to void it.
Yeah.
I still got it anyway.
What did you get with that award?
A certificate saying I had perfect attendance. That I
That's-
probably threw out immediately.
No, it's on your fridge. Let's be honest.
Your final term, global warmer.
It's a guy that'll sit outside with a hairdryer just blowing in the wind, trying to warm up the globe.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's somebody who uses a lot of like fossil fuels and stuff and is like polluting the environment heavily from just one person.
So all the big diesel trucks going down the highway.
Yeah, like I sort of like rolling coal on everybody
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's it.
What's your guess?
Global warmer. Or is it just somebody that wants it to be warmer all the time because they always run cold?
No, I'm saying that's it, as in you got it.
Oh,
Aces.
shit. I thought it was like, that's it, that's your guesses?
Large truck-like vehicle that spews an atrocious amount of toxins into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah. All right, that's it for Safe Word.
Yeah, it was okay.
Is that it for the podcast too? Hour 17.
Yeah, we'll pretty
We'll call
much
it there.
wrap it up there. Do either of you have a gravy boat?
I don't. You
Uh,
want to look one up, Steven?
Yeah, I can probably find something here.
Something.
Go for it. Ben, talk about your new phone. What is it? Would you get it? Do you like it? What's your review of it?
I do like it. It is the ZTE Axon 7. It's
Brag
a
about
Chinese
it.
phone.
Maybe not.
Really good. Like, it's very snappy. It's got a lot of processing power and such. Good camera, good battery power. It was around half the price of the new Galaxy, the iPhone 7. Around half the price of around $500 Canadian.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I had to buy it flat out, not on a plan. So,
Yeah.
because
And
I
you
had
just
to buy
transferred
it
SIM cards over?
Yep, pretty much. And it hooked up immediately with my provider.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, especially for the price. It's got an awesome fingerprint scanner. It's got a lot of
Does it feel good being able to listen to music on your phone now?
yes, because my previous phone, I broke off the headphone jack in it, and it was unfixable. And I
Like
never.
inside the jack, you snapped it off.
Yes.
And you didn't want to take a drill to it and try and get it out.
No. It was unfixable, dude.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the phone is good. I highly recommend if you're looking for a new phone and you don't have $1,000 to spend, but you have $500. Go with
There you
this
go.
one because it feels and acts and looks like a premium phone. So,
Mhm.
and it comes with its own case, a screen protector, an extra screen protector, earbud headphones, and a charger. And I found it through Unbox Therapy, which is a Canadian YouTube channel
Ooh.
about a bunch of tech reviews and such. And he highly recommended it.
We've already done an idea track in the past.
Oh, that's right. We have. Never mind.
It also it has front-facing speakers, which is I really like because
As opposed to like my phone's got speakers on the bottom of it.
yes,
Okay.
or speakers on the back are annoying.
Mhm.
The Galaxy S4 I believe has speakers on the back, so if you set it down on like a bed or something,
Yep.
it like
It
mutes
muffles it all. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to put it face down.
Yeah, and then you can't see a video that you're watching or something.
Yeah.
So front-facing speakers, and they're like Dolby brand speakers, so they're
So,
like really good.
Good quality speakers.
Yeah, I'm very happy with my purchase.
Nice. Very nice.
Come up with something?
Yeah, I think I just found some here.
How long did it take to come in? Sorry. Last thing?
Roughly
like,
a
when-
week.
Yeah? Just a week from when you bought it to when it came in?
Yeah, I think I ordered it last Friday, and it came in the Friday before the weekend.
Nice. It's not too bad at all.
That took me a while because I've been listening to a bunch of different like rap music recently. I thought a lot of it was smaller time stuff. And,
Okay.
like as I'm flipping through, I'm like, oh, this will be good. 10 million views, 5.3 million views, 27 million views. I'm like, oh my goodness, dude! Like
Damn.
I am blowing it.
They listen to Underground, man.
That was all underground stuff.
Oh, really?
It's just underground stuff from like, or I shouldn't necessarily say underground stuff. That was all like 80s and 90s rap music.
Ah.
So yeah, so it's saying it's popular in a sense, but it's not necessarily like it's not your radio time stuff. But anyway, so this was by a guy named, I think it's pronounced Sabac Red.
Can I see it?
Sabac.
Sabic?
Sabak?
Sabak.
Maybe Sabac, I don't know. He's part of a bunch of different groups through his time. Nonfiction was one of his big groups he was part of. Anyway, he did a song called I Have a Dream.
Okay. Like Martin Luther King
Yes.
Jr.?
Just like it. That's actually the picture in this video. Is
Nice.
Martin Luther King. And yeah, it's very good. On YouTube, it's actually just labeled as Sabac. I Have a Dream, not Sabac Red. But yeah, pretty cool track. I like it.
Okay.
All right, well, be sure to look for that in our Gravy Boat playlist. It's on our YouTube channel. You can find all our other music there that we recommended. We usually recommend 1 or 2 songs a week. So if you're looking for some underground music that you maybe not have heard before, check out that playlist. You might find something you like.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're on our YouTube channel,
Like, comment, subscribe.
Smash that like button.
No, don't smash it. It's very delicate.
Okay.
You just like lightly caress it until it eventually says liked. You just gotta graze it a couple times, pet it. Gotta speak softly to it. Let it want you to like it.
Are we an ASMR channel now? Yeah. And while you're subscribing, feel free to jump on over to our Twitter account and follow us there.
That's our most frequently used one. We do
Yep.
have other stuff, but
Yeah.
they're kind of on the back burner. We just have
Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, it all exists. So
Yeah.
if you want to, feel
Go
free
for it.
to go and check those things out.
Mhm.
And if you like to download your podcast to listen off data, offline,
like a
you
normal
can
person.
do that on iTunes or Google Play, depending on if you have an Android or Apple phone. And if you have any statements, requests, concerns, email us at HastleCast@gmail.com.
Have we got any yet?
I don't think so.
Nice. I haven't checked in a long time because it's still locked out of my computer and whatnot.
Oh,
Yeah, so I can't check anymore.
yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
But regardless, that's it for the show. Thank you very much, guys, for coming.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks,
Talking
Ben.
about escape rooms the entire time.
Hey, that's okay.
No, it's always a good time.
We need to book another one. We were just messaging people about it and they're asking me details. So
Cool.
Oh yeah, I
get
know.
this
We're
right.
gonna go book another one, and we'll have another review for you next week. That I won't be here, but it'll be dope. I will review the mac and cheese though. That will come out.
Okay.
Word. Cool. Thank you very much, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks for
See you
coming,
later.
guys. Our second farewell to Alex.
Yeah, you know, I'll be back probably next week. Let's be honest here.
All right. See you next week, everybody.
Bye.